Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are answering the internet's absolute biggest, most frequently searched questions about a guy who, well, let's be real, he's one of the most recognizable faces and memes on the entire planet. We're talking about the man who literally defined a generation of pro wrestling and then just casually took over Hollywood. So, let's dive straight into this definitive answer key for John Felix Anthony Cena. We've combed through all the data, the timelines, and the financials to bring you a completely no-fluff breakdown of his life, his career, and his massive empire.
Here is the exact game plan for today. First, essential stats, age and height. Second, the iconic theme song. Third, transition to Hollywood blockbusters. Fourth, meeting wife Shay Sharizadeh. And finally, number 5, the $80 million net worth.
All right, let's jump into Section 1, Essential Stats, Age and Height. If you hit the search engines, one of the very first things you're going to find is his build height of 6 feet 1 inch. Now, what's genuinely fascinating about this is how that specific stature fed right into his larger-than-life WWE persona. At 6'1", weighing in around 251 pounds, Cena possessed this insane functional strength. I mean, he was routinely lifting athletes who were over a foot taller and easily 200 pounds heavier than him. That physical baseline right there, that was the foundation of the ruthless aggression he promised us when he first debuted on the main roster way back in 2002. And right alongside the height searches, everybody always wants to know his age. Born John Felix Anthony Cena on April 23, 1977, up in West Newbury, Massachusetts, he actually turns 49 in the year 2026. What makes that number so wild is just the sheer longevity of the guy. He wrestled for the WWE for over 24 years, officially wrapping up his legendary in-ring career with a retirement tour that ended in December 2025.
Moving right along to Section 2, the iconic theme song.
Look, you literally cannot talk about John Cena without talking about this phrase. It's the ultimate example of how a simple taunt can just evolve into an internet-breaking phenomenon. The story behind it is actually pretty funny. Back in 2003, when he was working on his new theme song, his younger brother dared him to do this popular dance on TV. But Cena put his own spin on it. He did it in reverse, just waving his hand really fast in front of his face. That little inside joke became, "You can't see me," spawning literally decades of internet memes where everyone just pretends he's completely invisible.
But you know, the catchphrase is really only half the story. The Time Is Now is his unmistakable WWE entrance theme, and a surprisingly high number of people don't realize he actually recorded this track himself alongside his cousin, the Trademark. It was the lead track on his 2005 debut rap album, which was also titled You Can't See Me. And this wasn't just some gimmick playing in wrestling arenas. It was a legit commercial success, peaking at number 15 on the Billboard 200 chart. The guy wasn't just walking out to a random produced track. He was literally stepping out to his own Billboard hit.
Which brings us to Section 3, Transition to Hollywood blockbusters. Let's look at this absolutely packed filmography. Cena kicked things off with action flicks produced by WWE Studios, making a big splash with The Marine back in 2006. But he definitely didn't pigeonhole himself as just the action guy. He totally proved his comedic chops in 2015's Trainwreck and the 2018 comedy Blockers. From there, he seamlessly shifted into massive franchise territory. We're talking the Transformers universe with Bumblebee, playing Vin Diesel's brother in the Fast and Furious movies, and stepping into the DC universe as Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker, which got him his own critically acclaimed spin-off series.
So the really crucial takeaway here is how this transition absolutely exploded his career financially. As a wrestler, he's a record-tying 16-time WWE World Champion. But as an actor, he's now commanding anywhere from $2 to $7 million per film and pulling in a massive $500,000 to $1 million per single episode for his TV work on Peacemaker. He brilliantly took all that equity he built inside the ring and monetized it at the absolute highest levels of Hollywood.
All right, on to Section 4, Meeting Wife Shay Sharizadeh. If you don't know much about Shay Sharizadeh, she is incredibly brilliant, and she built her success entirely outside of the entertainment industry. Born in Iran in 1990 and raised up in Canada, she earned her bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering from the University of British Columbia. She was heavily inspired by her brother's engineering projects and her mom, who worked incredibly hard as a surgeon. Shay went on to build a seriously impressive resume of her own, working as a program manager for Microsoft and later taking on product manager roles at software companies in Canada. So how did they meet? Let's check out the timeline. Their paths officially crossed in March 2019 up in Vancouver. Cena was in town filming the comedy Playing with Fire, and they actually met at a restaurant when he spotted her. By October of that same year, they went public, making their red carpet debut at the premiere for that exact same movie. Fast forward just a year later, and on October 12, 2020, they officially tied the knot in a private ceremony down in Tampa, Florida.
Looking back on his time filming that movie, Cena said, "I got to film a special project and meet someone special." Honestly, it adds such a nice personal touch to their whole story. And despite his incredibly public persona, Cena and Shahrazadeh have managed to keep their marriage really private. They quietly support each other at red carpet events, but for the most part, they keep their day-to-day life completely out of the tabloids.
And finally, Section 5, the $80 million net worth. Boom, $80 million. As we look at the year 2025, that is the jaw-dropping estimated net worth of John Cena. It's a massive jump from his previous years and absolutely cements him as one of the wealthiest professional wrestlers to ever do it. In fact, he's second only to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Let's actually break down the components of all this wealth. Where is $80 million coming from? Well, even as a part-time performer toward the very end of his WWE run, Cena was reportedly still commanding up to $12 million annually, just from appearance fees and merch royalties. Combine that with his multi-million-dollar acting fees for huge franchise movies, his massive TV earnings from Peacemaker, and some really smart real estate investments, like his $4 million mansion in Land O'Lakes, Florida, and you've got yourself a perfectly diversified portfolio. Oh, and we definitely cannot forget the corporate sponsorships. Cena's mainstream appeal is just undeniable. He's not just a recognizable face, he's a deeply trusted voice. He literally does the voiceover for Honda. He's endorsed Capri Sun, Gillette, Hefty Home Goods, and he even famously replaced Fred Flintstone as the cover star for Fruity Pebbles cereal. The sheer variety of these top-tier brands just proves his insane marketability across every single demographic. Which really leaves us with one final thought. With his historic in-ring career officially wrapping up at the end of 2025, and this massive $80 million empire securely built across two entirely different industries, what's next? We know he's already signed a multi-year ambassador deal with the WWE, and his acting slate is completely booked up. So the real question isn't if we'll see John Cena again, it's what boundary he is going to completely shatter next. You searched for the facts, and we answered. If you love this deep dive and you want more clear, structured, and honestly fascinating breakdowns of the topics you care about, hit that subscribe button right now. We are constantly taking the internet's biggest questions and turning them into the definitive explainers you actually need. Stay curious, stay focused, and I will see you in the next explainer.